All right, what is going on, guys? Hope you are well wherever you are, whatever the time, and welcome back to another episode of Why Not Me. Just got done doing my own personal check-in, so I'll stick that up on the screen just now. But just to give you a little bit of an update as to where we're at in prep at 16 and a half weeks out. This is how we're currently looking after a couple of high days of carbohydrates. So 2 back-to-back days of 700 grams of carbs. And I'm also going to be doing a high day today. So I thought, why not film it? I woke up this morning at 100 kilos, which is, 100.5 kilos this morning, which is just over a kilo up, just under a kilo up from my lowest weigh-in prior to the high days, if that makes sense. So I was 99.7 prior to the 2 high days. First high day, my body weight didn't change. Second high day, gone up to 100.5, which puts my average body weight across this week at 100 kilos exactly, which is down 0.3 kilos on average from my previous average last week, if that makes sense. So we're still moving down. One thing I've noticed is as I've got into the 99s, putting in those high days, it's harder for me to fill out. I done an upper body session yesterday and the pump was okay, but I wasn't like, oh, you've eaten 1400 grams of carbs over 2 days full. Like, it's going to require a lot of food for me, I think, to really fill out my frame. And I definitely think previously, maybe potentially because I haven't been lean enough, or just haven't had that opportunity or that time to push things as much with food to really fill out my tall frame. Because on stage, I think if you're somebody who's really tall, being flat just isn't really an option. You need to be bursting full. But to be able to do that and to be able to look really good when you're bursting full, you have to be really lean. So that explains the position that my physique is in right now. I'm really happy with body composition at this point. I'm 16 and a half weeks out still. And the change from 101 to 99 or even 100 kilos to 99 kilos, that little push has been pretty drastic, especially through the back of my physique, glutes, hamstrings, lower back. So I'm interested to see how we're looking once we take off another kilo, which will take about 1.5 weeks. Ideally, probably see the 98s or a 98 at some point over the next 10 days. That will determine whether or not I do an earlier show, because I don't really want to step on stage and not be completely happy or think, oh, there's still more to come off. I don't want to do that this season. I want to step on stage and be like, I'm ready. Like I don't need to do anything else with my physique to be able to be better here. So yeah, once I get into the 98s, we'll see and then go from there. But as I said, today is another high day. I'm going to be putting in 600 grams of carbs. I will show you the macros of each meal and obviously explain what I'm having with each meal as well. But yeah, another day in prep, guys. This is day 74, I believe. Damn, flying. Gonna go out for the food shop just now and get some stuff that I need for the high day, but I'll see you for meal number 1. Meal number 1, we're back from the food shop. It's a good food shop. There's a couple of things that we forgot, which is a bit mad because we go to 3 different shops. Meal number 1 on this high day is 100 grams of ground rice, 50 grams of whey, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 90%, 100 grams of blueberries, and 4 rice cakes with 30 grams of jam. Just gonna eat this, and then I've got a call at 11 with a guy who wants to compete in the future, and then I've got to get on with some other work, but today's a rest day. Oh yeah, I was gonna say no cardio today because I don't want the food that I'm consuming to be utilized for cardio. What's the point? Because I want to be able to use it for my training sessions tomorrow. If you just have a high day and you just blow it all on expenditure, you've kind of just defeated the point of your high day. So no cardio today, just 10,000 steps. And yeah, I'll see you for meal number 2. All right, we are just about to start making meal number 2, but I actually also had to start preparing Bryony's food. I'm actually cooking a stew for Bryony. I feel like I love cooking. Cooking for me it's really therapeutic. I'm going to set this up actually on a tripod so I can actually talk to you properly. Cooking for me is thoroughly enjoyable. If you actually look here, we got basically the startings of a stew I'm going to be making. I think it's easy to be like, oh, it's because you're on prep, bro. You're food focused. Not, I'm a little bit hungrier, but like, I always just enjoy cooking. Cooking is just very, very therapeutic. It's nice to put on some music, just get on with it, and I feel like, I don't know, it's a bit of alone time with yourself, you know. So that was pretty much what I'd done. I've just got obviously I'm sorting out the beef. It's sitting in some red wine in a minute, and I'll finish that off later today. Had a call with a guy who competed last year and he wants to compete again either in 2027 or 2028, and definitely getting busier with the competitive clients, which is exactly what I want. I want to get to a point where really I'm coaching mostly people who want to push towards being competitive athletes. Of course, I know that I can coach people that just want to get in shape, whether that be for a holiday or they just want to live longer, feel better. But I really enjoy coaching competitive athletes, and that's grown even more so since I just started coaching myself as well. So yeah, meal number 2, let's get started with that. I'm going to grab my ingredients, then I'll show you what we got. All right, so meal number 2, probably my favorite meal of the day, and especially when it's a high day as well, because it means a little bit extra bread. So we got 2 bagel thins with 30 grams of honey, 4 bacon medallions, 3 whole eggs, 8 grams of grapes, and 1 whole kiwi. This meal would typically just be on a rest day, literally just the eggs, the bacon, and the fruit. But obviously I've added in some extra bagel thins and also some honey for more carbs. I think when you're in a prep, meals that are typically higher in fat and a little bit higher in sodium always just get the taste buds going. So I think that's why probably this is my favorite meal. It's the same with like smoked salmon. In a prep, smoked salmon is just, because of the sodium, because of the higher fat content, and salmon is just incredible. But yeah, anyway, after this meal, we just got to post some content on Instagram and also make a reel as well, script it out. As a coach and as someone that is trying to make online coaching their long-term career, with content, it's not literally just a case of, oh yeah, what could I post today? Oh yeah, just put that up actually. Sometimes that can happen, but for the most part, content is planned, content is scripted, content then has to be edited. You got to make sure the audio is good. You got to make sure the content looks good visually. You got to make sure that it's actually trying to help the people that you're trying to help. That's really important, and that takes time. It's not just a case of I'll just post whatever I want, because if you want to stand out as an online coach, you've got to be able to, 1, speak to the people that you're trying to help, and 2, show your personality. And that isn't easy. So that takes time. It's not just a case of, online coaching seems like a good job because I can just post on Instagram and just make loads of money, because that's not how it works. So yeah, some content creation. I have a podcast with Adam as well that I'm going to be filming, but I'm going to be filming that tomorrow with him. We have a podcast called The Unassisted Podcast, so if you want to tune into that, I'll put the link in the description for the podcast, but we talk all things bodybuilding. It's great, and actually I've really enjoyed that kind of style of media. I'm just looking at my list. What else we got? We're going out, me and Bryony are going out this evening for a little Pepsi Max date. Yeah, see you for meal number 3. All right, so meal 3, we got oats. We got a lot of food on the go as well here. We got some chicken in the air fryer. We got rice. We got a stew. We got mince. There's a lot going on in the kitchen. I've done like a big block of meal prep. Bryony has 2. But yeah, this meal is 100 grams of oats. We have 60 grams of whey, 100 grams of cherries, and 15 grams of almond butter, and some sweet cinnamon. All right, so meal number 3 is rice, mince, and a little bit of salad. We have 125 grams uncooked weight rice and 250 grams raw weight mince with 30 grams of salad. It's a little bit. On a refeed, I'm not having as much vegetables. I've noticed that when I've been taking in a good amount of food, because obviously I've been doing quite a few high days, when I've had a lot of broccoli and a lot of like sprouts and a lot of vegetables, it's causing the stomach to be a little bit gurgly. Don't really want that. I don't really need loads of vegetables during my refeed, right? So just little bits of veg here and there, but nothing as much as what there would be when I'm obviously pushing in those lower days. Stew is also complete. I'll put a video up, but it looks very good. And we're about to head out and about to get our sugar-free drink on once I've eaten this. So yeah, and then once I get back, could be my last meal, and then finish some steps, get an early night. Tomorrow we have legs. So it's just about trying to use this food and make sure that today is, I'm not too active. As I said, I'm not doing any cardio today. And I want to make sure that tomorrow's leg session is a really good one. I'm sure it will be with the high days that I've had. Obviously, by that point, it would have been 3 in a row. I'll see you for meal number 5, the last meal. All right, final meal of the day. Chicken, rice, bagel thin, 150 grams of grapes. 275 grams of rice, cooked weight, and 250 grams of chicken, raw weight. Same kind of setup as the last meal. We just got back from our little date, our Pepsi Max date. I was saying to Bryony, you probably want to do some more activities. To be honest, it's been a while since you've done any kind of activity date, and I think in a prep, just trying to do things that are centered around food is just, it gets boring after a while because there's not many options. Anyway, gonna have this meal and then we're gonna watch Breaking Bad because for some reason Bryony hasn't watched it. I'll see you for the next video. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you next week.